We have a little connection. I think a lot of people don't know. We have the Pittsburgh connection.
That's funny. Just last week, I think I decided to finally identify as a country girl, as a city girl, because I've always considered myself a city girl.
I love the pronunciation of Toganok.
Yes.
Love it.
Welcome to another Under Contract Taking Backup. And today our backup is Nana Potenza. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So thank you for coming. And I am so excited to have you here because you have such an interesting, great background. You know so much about this area, and we have a little connection. I think a lot of people don't know. We have the Pittsburgh connection. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and, what you've been up to since you've moved here from Pittsburgh, which I understand was a long time ago. You've been here a little longer than I have. So
yeah, that's funny. Just last week, I think I decided to finally identify as a country girl instead of a city girl, because I've always considered myself a city girl. I lived in Pittsburgh till I was about 14 and then moved to the Ithaca area. And I moved with my mom, so it wasn't my choice, and I was very upset about it. I did not want to move to the city of Ithaca. So when we moved here, I was devastated. I left all my friends, all the people,
14's a hard age to leave.
It's a hard age.
Is.
Yeah, high school. And funny story is that the first time I came to Trumansburg was for my doctor's appointment that my mom was driving me to in 9th grade. And she was like, "Oh, this is a cute little town. Maybe we should move here." And I was like, "I would never live here." And so here we are, I don't know how many years later, and I would never leave here. So that's how I feel about Trumansburg.
Gets its claws into you. And then you're like, okay, I love this. Yeah, because recently you went to New York City for the weekend.
I did.
When I was texting you and I was like, hey, what do you think? And you're like, oh my gosh, I just came back from New York City. Tell me the text that you sent me. And I was like, this is so serendipitous. Tell me the text that you sent me.
I was in New York City for, I'm a Squarespace web designer, and I was in New York City for Circle Day. It's the best day of the year. Love going there. So much fun. Love visiting the city for a day or two, but then I'm so excited to come home to Trumansburg. And that's when I decided oh, I am not a city girl. It's mentally exhausting to just navigate and to get where you're going or whatever. It's fun, but also couldn't wait to be home to breathe the fresh air and just calm the nerves,
Yeah. So you have had a couple of different jobs since you've been here. You've been on the Tompkins County Chamber of Commerce. You've been on the Trumansburg Chamber of Commerce. You've also owned your own business. It was
good to go.
Yes, good to go. I keep wanting to say Main Street Market because that's what it is now, but it was good to go. That's when I first met you. Yep. We were both on the Trumansburg Chamber of Commerce together. And now, like you said, you are the brand designer and web designer for your own business. So you're a small business owner. So you've kind of done it all, and you've seen a lot of this area, and you've had interactions with a lot of businesses, a lot of folks. You talk to a lot of people. So I thought it would be great to have you here and discuss why everybody loves to stay in this area.
Yeah.
I know, Chelsey and I know as realtors that people come to this area. A lot of this is a transient community because of the colleges. And so people, they get a job here, they move here. We see a lot of folks from out of the area move here. So we have that experience. But I would love to talk to you about your experience and what you see and why people love to come to this area, why they visit the area, why they stay here, why they end up staying here, especially since you just came from the city and you're like, yeah, I love it here. Plus, you and I were not originally from here.
Yeah.
And, I ended up staying. I came up here for Ithaca College, and I fell in love with the campus in February of '99. And if you like the winter, if you fall in love with the area in the winter, that's it, right? You're pretty much going to stay here. So, but Chelsey,
I've never left.
You grew up. See,
I never left. Nope. I'm born and raised, and here I am.
Yeah.
We thought about moving away, and
I tried to leave a few times and the universe said no.
Mm-hmm.
There's something about this area.
Yeah. Fun fact, I've known Chelsea since she was 2, 4.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Yep. So I grew up in the restaurant business. My parents owned Billy Bob Jack's, which is up on Trip Hammer, and that's where we met.
Yes. I worked at Billy Bob Jack's for 2 years.
Lore.
Yeah.
My kids would say, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy, your dad,
Mm-hmm.
gave me my first like manager experience kind of. It wasn't a manager, but I did the wait staff schedule, which was like a big deal, you know.
How old were you?
Then 20.
Okay.
That's pretty young.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah. And then I went on to my next job and I was like a front of house manager at a restaurant.
That's big.
So
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we go way back.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
I remember when your brother was born.
Yeah.
So whatever year that was is when I worked there.
Wow.
2000?
So Dalton was born in 2000.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Mhm.
I feel like I just got privy to I feel like I got some privy inside stuff there.
Yep.
I like that.
Yep.
I like it. Now I feel like even a little more ingrained to town here. I feel like I'm now really solidified my position as a townie.
The small town connections are real. Like when they say, it's a small world, especially in Trumansburg, Trumansburg, the Finger Lakes, even.
It is, but it's also big. Like you don't realize it. It has this small town feel. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they joke that it's 10 square miles surrounded by reality. I mean, you've heard that, right?
Oh, yeah.
That bumper sticker, right? But me coming from a very small town, I came from a very small coal mining town in Pennsylvania, right? I grew up south of Pittsburgh. So coming up here, this was a booming metropolis to me.
Yeah.
There is a lot to do here. This area is rich in activity, entertainment, culture, diverse. Like there's so much to do here. Academics, food. Oh my gosh. So coming here, you get the small town feel, but a lot. You get a big town like activity.
So much going on.
And I think that's what draws people here. I think that's what keeps people coming back. And I think that's why the real estate market is so good here. I think that's why values retain. I think that's why people retain appreciation. I think that's why people come back. They buy second homes here. Obviously, we have the lakes. And so lake homes, and people have their second homes here for the lake, their vacation homes and stuff like that. So I know you've probably seen it at the Chamber, your experience at the Chamber of Commerce. What can you tell us about that? Like, what was your experience at the Chamber of Commerce with visitors, people visiting? And then I know they probably ended up staying.
Yeah. Listen, the area is not a hard sell. It's just not. It's got so much going on. It's like you can walk to 6 waterfalls in an hour. I mean, that might be exaggeration, but it's a lot. You can do a lot in a day. The nature is gorgeous.
Oh, that's right. That's the other bumper sticker. Ithaca is gorgeous. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing that we have going on is, small businesses, which I am the most passionate about. Love small businesses, love supporting small businesses. They really are the fabric of a community, and they add that unique flavor, the special sauce, if you will. And everyone's so welcoming here. Small businesses we're proud of our area, our community, and want to share it with everyone. So.
Yeah, Ithaca and the Finger Lakes are really supportive of what we call the mom and pop businesses.
Yes.
And I think a part of that is everybody is kind of so neighborly here, and they want to see those businesses succeed, and they support those businesses. You don't see a lot of like what they call the big box stores here.
Yeah, when I moved here, there was like no big box stores. Now there's a lot more in Ithaca, but
well, you have the colleges, you have the Cornell in Ithaca, and you have to support. There's demand for that stuff because you have the students.
Supports our taxes and things like that.
Yeah. So the area, I think I was just reading that, it's seasonal too. So if you're going to have a small business, like this area really supports small business, but there are some caveats. Like you have to be careful because it can be seasonal because the area is so tailored towards the university and the college, because I think half of the population is basically university, right?
Yes.
I was reading.
Yep.
You might have some information on that.
Yeah, that's accurate. Having a small business, having a had a natural food grocery deli called Good to Go on Main Street. And I don't know how that happened. That was never my plan, but it happened one day. And that's when I found out what a Chamber of Commerce was. I never even heard of a Chamber of Commerce.
Really?
So Cheryl Thompson from the bank, she was
Reynolds, yeah.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
Why did I say? Oh, that's a different Cheryl. Sorry. Cheryl Reynolds from the bank came in and was like, "You should join the chamber." And I was like, "I don't know what that is." But anyway, that's how I found out what a chamber was. Got heavily involved. But what I was going to say is, first year in business as a small retail physical location shop, January.
Oh, yeah.
Losing money. February, worse. So that was a learning lesson in the first year. And then you have to just plan for that because it does pick up. It's, most of your business comes in the summer when there's the tourists. And even locals go, they can be snowbirds. And I'm like, where have you been? They're like, oh, we're in Florida, But they come back and then, business picks up. And December is actually a really busy month, holidays. But
yeah, because there's actually, most people think of the Finger Lakes. Obviously, they think of wineries. Like, that's the first thing that they think of. Or breweries, because there's been like an explosion of microbreweries lately. Obviously, the climate around here, it lends itself to the wineries, the vines, the grapes and stuff like that because of the lakes. And people mostly think of that, but there's a lot more to do here, especially in the winter. You would think everybody kind of thinks Finger Lakes in the summer because of the lake and boating and all that, but we have Greek Peak.
Mm-hmm. We're only 45 minutes from Greek Peak.
Yeah. And I'm not really.
And the waterfalls are beautiful. And you don't think of seeing waterfalls in winter, but they're so pretty.
So, there's stuff to do all year round here, and that really draws people to the area. So, I know when I've talked to, I literally just helped somebody. This was actually, they just closed last week. They found me, and they're like, yeah, we want to buy a house. We want to buy a lake house out here. And I was like, well, how did you find out about the area? Like, how do you know about the area? I said, well, our daughter went to Cornell, and so we want to, buy a vacation home here. And I was like, what is she doing? They're like, oh, she graduated, 5-10 years ago, but we remember the area. We loved the area. And I was like, wow, that's what people do.
Yep.
They visit the area once and then they're like, oh, or once or twice. And they're like, we loved the area. We want to buy a house here. It's wild.
We actually have really good friends who they were vacationing up here, a couple times a year, and they were bouncing between Seneca Lake and Cayuga Lake, and they couldn't decide which one. They were kind of leaning more towards the Seneca Lake vibe, and then they ended up buying a lake cottage on Cayuga, and they are now our lake neighbors, and they live 4 hours away, 4.5 hours, and they come up every other weekend to enjoy the lake. And that's their retirement plan. They plan on leaving Pennsylvania and living up here for good because they just fell in love with the area. And it was just them visiting a couple times a year, year after year after year. And then the right property came. And now I think they know more places than I do. And they've, gone and hiked, and that their favorite is the Cornell Lab of Ornithology and the restaurants. And they just know more about the area than I do. And I grew up here. But it's a prime example of people who come visit and they love the area and they don't want to leave.
Yeah.
That was the target market for the chamber and visit. I think it's people that have visited here at least once or went to school because it's like once you get people here, they just understand it and they want to come back and they want to move here or they want to visit more often. So
yeah, I read a stat that the average visitor stays 2 to 3 days and they spend $500 a day. And then 93% say they're going to come back within 2 to 3 years. They plan a second visit. It's like, that's huge.
Yeah.
That's a big stat. So
another amazing thing about this location in New York is that it's so close to so many other things. Like Rochester's only a couple hours away. Philadelphia is only, you don't think of Philadelphia, but 4 hours away. Pittsburgh's relatively close, 5 to 6 hours. New York, it's all within this 5 to 6 hour radius or closer. One of my goals this summer was because like you, when you're local, you don't tend not to explore and venture out. So I was I have to get to one thing I haven't been to this year. So I went to the Chimney Bluffs. It's a state park near Sodus on Lake Ontario.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Really pretty. But
I've heard of that. I've heard of that one. Yeah.
And Sodus is less than an hour.
it's an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never been there.
And they have really beautiful sandy beaches too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Same with Geneva. They have a sandy beach.
Yeah, Geneva. I love the top of the lake. Geneva's at the top of Cayuga Lake. Speaking of
I love
lakes,
Geneva, too.
Geneva's so nice. They have that nice little park there at the top of the lake.
Mm-hmm.
They put together a really nice park. So did Taganik at the falls, the overlook. I mean, that's classic. That's iconic. Everybody who comes to the Ithaca area, everybody knows that the falls is in Trumansburg.
Trumansburg.
It's in Trumansburg. Taganik Falls is in Trumansburg.
I love the pronunciation of Taganok.
Yes.
Love it.
It's Taganok. I mean, my dad has been visiting for, almost 20 years now or more. And he still is like, wait, what?
Totally.
But they put together a nice little overlook. And of course, hiking the rim, the trail.
Love the rim trail.
Yeah, that's nice. So, and speaking of lakes, so I just learned some lore about Seneca Lake and Cayuga Lake. I mean, I've been here for how long and I'm still learning lore. So Seneca Lake is the deepest of the lakes, right? And Cayuga is, we learned, the longest. It's 40 miles long. But Seneca is home to the U.S. Navy. They test their sonar equipment in the bottom of Seneca Lake. Did anybody else know that?
I did not.
Didn't know it.
So, yeah. Everybody thinks of Finger Lakes, wineries, waterfalls. The U.S. Navy tests their submarine, not the actual submarine in the lake, but all of their equipment tests for sonar in the quiet, calm, deep of Seneca Lake. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Look, I've been here that long. I'm still learning stuff. So
I know the fishing's really good on the lakes.
yes,
That part I do know.
yes, fishing.
I always see bald eagles on Seneca Lake.
Yes, there's lots of bald eagles too.
Yeah, we've got a lot of bald eagles in this area lately.
Yeah.
So see,
Not endangered anymore.
Finger Lakes are for the nature lovers too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just for wineries, breweries. What else? Then the mom and pop shops. You can get the natural soaps. There's a lot of natural stuff here too. If you want to go all organic and you want to lead the natural lifestyle, if you've got any allergies or stuff like that.
We have an organic hair salon right in Trumansburg.
That's right. We have an organic hair salon in Trumansburg.
People drive from hours away to come to that. If they're
Is this why everybody literally wants to live in Trumansburg? I know, literally when I have this conversation with buyers all the time, or people end up asking me, they're like, so when people move to the area, where do they want to live? Or, when they talk to you, where do they want to live? And I'm like, well, I mean, it really depends on what you want, because people ask us, what's a good area? I was like, well, that's subjective.
It depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends. What do you think is good? Where do you want to live? And I usually find people when they make up their mind or when they're trying to decide, they're like, well, it's either Lansing or Trumansburg. It's either they're going to decide those two. And then they always end up, depending what they want, a majority of the time, they end up choosing Trumansburg. Because they say it has more of a community feel.
We have that walkability, and we do just have a community center
That's because it has the community center. Lansing is a little more spread out.
Yeah, it's two different areas.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk from SureSave, our local grocery store, all the way down past the fire department, and it's a good couple miles. And there's school, there's the school, there's the library, there's shops, there's the post office, everything.
You literally don't realize how much is here until you stop and think about it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a library, there's restaurants, there's a brewery, post office, an eye doctor, a dentist,
Phone company,
bookstore,
phone company.
I'm just saying.
Literally just walk down Main Street and think everything.
You have everything you need.
Laundromat,
Mm-hmm.
2 laundromats.
2 laundromats. There's a bowling alley.
Yeah.
There's a bowling alley. And a physical therapist. Chiropractors. Holy cow.
Acupuncture.
Holy cow.
Car parts.
Napa Auto Store.
Lots of ice cream.
Lots
the
of ice cream.
best pizza.
Oh,
Yes.
New York Pizzeria.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And can we talk about not only ice cream, but we have a drive-through coffee shop.
Yeah.
Coffee shed,
Love it.
coffee shed, drive-through. That's clutch.
I do have to give a shout out to my sister-in-law. You know,
I mean,
she's
give me.
her baked goods are.
Oh,
Give me.
Give me.
I
Yep.
literally have them sitting on my desk out in the other room right now.
Yes, and I do appreciate the drive-through portion, especially in the middle of winter.
Yes. Oh gosh, yes.
and it only takes like a little spark like that. I remember when Gimme opened, I was like, Trumansburg, this is how long? I don't know, 20 years ago. Trumansburg was on a little bit of a downturn on Main Street, a lot of empty storefronts. And I remember when Gimme came there, I'm like, are they going to make it? And they were that little spark that just kind of like created this community center for people to gather and everyone, alcohol and coffee people will find. But that's why I opened Good to Go. It was because Gimme was there because the location became open. And, Gimme has wonderful pastries, but if you don't want a pastry and you want a bagel or a sandwich or something, the idea was I'm not competing with Gimme. I'm like, get your coffee, come on down, get some breakfast.
Oh, yeah. I remember your breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of our
that was
popular things. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. So it's funny how those little businesses can spark others.
Yes.
And now look at how vibrant the Main Street is.
One of the biggest compliments anyone ever gave me at the store was this woman, Rachel. She was a yoga instructor. And she was looking to move here and was going to purchase a house on Wig Street. And she said the determining factor was that my store was there. Like that was the thing that made her knew that Trumansburg was the community for her. And it was just like best thing.
Isn't that wild? See how this all affects real estate. I mean, real estate and a local economy go hand in hand. You know that the local economy is good when real estate is doing good and vice versa. That's how, if you're curious about an area and about moving to an area, take a look at the local economy and you'll know if this has steady growth or what's happening there, then that will give you good insight into it. So yeah. So I'm really curious, what are some other businesses that you've run into at your time at the chamber? Like everybody knows certain businesses, but what are some unique ones that maybe some people might not know?
Oh, I didn't know this question was coming.
Yeah, we're grilling you. This is 20 right now. 20 questions. Go.
There are so many unique businesses.
No? Putting you on the spot.
I know. So bad.
Well, how about this? Do you remember how many businesses joined the chamber when you had your time there? Just a rough number.
How many chamber?
Yeah, how many businesses are there? I mean, you got some big ones, all the face.
You can go.
I think it was 600, but I'm not sure.
600?
I think it was, but I'm not sure.
That's a lot for this little area.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a lot.
Yeah, but
a
it's also
area.
not just they can serve the broader community. Like there's some in Syracuse.
Oh yeah,
people that serve this area.
Yeah, but still,
I'm a big foodie. I love food. I eat out often. That's what I like to spend my money on.
Mm-hmm.
Also pottery. I like to support local potters and business. And in earrings.
There's a big artisan. There's a big artisan community.
There is a big artisan community. Sundries has a nice curated area or section of local goods, and then there's the handmade market. Is that what it's called? I think a handmade.
There's also down on the Commons. There's 15 Steps, and is Robbie
Sunny Days?
Oh, Sunny Days. Is Robbie Dean still open? Robbie Dean's Crafts. I remember when I went to Ithaca College, walking through the Commons, and coming where I'm from, where there's literally nothing, like one stoplight and coal mines and cows, going through the Commons and seeing artisans and pottery just not being used to that.
Yeah.
I thought this was the coolest thing, and how the community can support so much of that. That's incredible.
We even have a pottery studio right here in Trumansburg.
That's right.
Not to bring it back to Trumansburg.
Salmon Pottery.
Salmon Pottery.
But this area really does support all that. And I think that's why a lot of people, you have such a diverse group of people moving to this area, visiting the area, but also getting second homes in the area. And I think that's a lot of reason why people want to stay. It's probably why we have a lack of inventory too. People don't want to sell their homes and move, but people want to keep coming to the area. It supports so much, not just the usual, but artisans. I know, don't we used to have a flax clothing person?
That hasn't been here in a while, but
Yeah. But the jewelry, I know I'm a fan of, is it Lauren O'Brien?
yeah.
Oh, I love her earrings.
Yeah. I almost exclusively wear Laurel stuff.
And then the pottery, it's really cool. Once you stop and think about how much is actually here, it's crazy.
And I know there's a lot when you head down towards like the Watkins Glen and then up the west side of Seneca Lake. Staving Wood Artist is down there. And I believe they have a store in the Harbor Hotel. And a lot of their stuff is like woodworking and a lot of like wine barrel and things to incorporate the wineries too. So, different kind of aspect of the art, but it goes all the way down and up and around the lakes and no matter where you are.
Yeah, we can't forget about Watkins Glen because that is growing. And the amount of festivals and fairs that bring people to the area, first, we can't forget about NASCAR in Watkins Glen.
Right.
The Watkins Glen International Speedway. That brings so many people in. And how many fairs and festivals does Watkins Glen have every weekend? So that not only supports all the businesses in the area, that supports the hotels, the Airbnbs, the short-term rentals. So that just keeps the microeconomy going as
those
well.
Room tax dollars support the chamber and visitor bureaus.
Yeah.
And so it helps everyone.
And they're bringing people to the area, recognizing the area. And again, people are like, hey, I kind of like this area. Oh, let's look at I hear it all the time. Hey, let's just pick up a real estate guide. Let's just look at the real estate in the area. And then after 2 or 3 years, they're like, hey, we're coming here every year. Let's just buy a house. And they end up buying a house. But yeah, and then,
I was going to say, I am involved with many community events. I've been an event planner, and I know firsthand it is so hard to plan and decide what day because there's always so much going on. There's always another event. And at a certain point, you just have to pick a day and say, sorry,
Right.
It's going to be at the same time because there's so much to do.
Some of the really big ones in all of the areas, we've got Grassroots.
Yeah.
We've got the Apple Festival down in Ithaca. We've got the Winterfest. We've got the Village Christmas event down in the Ice Bar event.
In Watkins Glen, yeah. You got Ithaca Festival.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can't not mention Grassroots. That's literally the biggest. People travel from different states. Like, isn't it? You would know because you helped with Grassroots. You worked on Grassroots.
Yeah, 14 years I worked with Grassroots. Oof. Yeah. It's, they did an economic impact study. This is probably 15 years ago now, but back then, and it's grown, but that was 8.8, brings in 8.8 tax dollars to our area. 8.8 million. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Well, yeah,
that makes sense.
Don't quote me on that number. It's 8.8 million. So,
yeah.
Wow.
On average, how many people does it bring to our area?
I could say about 15,000 attend over 4 days. I don't know the exact number. I don't remember the number that come to the area for that, but it's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And they stay for the week,
Right.
Not just the 4 days. Yeah. It's really fun. It's really fun. I love that festival because it's not doesn't have large sponsorship. It's just has a different feel. It kind of reflects our community, and you have that community vibe within the festival too.
What if somebody doesn't know what Grassroots is? What if they just think Grassroots is just something that you like? It's a Grassroots.
Yeah.
So what is Grassroots Festival?
You can try and explain it, but
you just have to experience it.
You gotta be there. Yeah, it's 4 days of music and dance, but it's different, and you can't box it into. It's not bluegrass. It's not. It has all genres of music. Is why I love that. I always say you'll find your next favorite band. It's someone you've never heard of. You walk from one stage and you see an African band. You walk to another, it's bluegrass. You walk to another, it's reggae. You name it, it's there. It's something for everyone. And it's very cross-generational, which I also love. So people that are 70 to, I raised my son, he's been to every Grassroots since he's been born. And it's just a really nice vibe.
Yes, I can hear it from my house.
Yes.
As do I.
It's like it's a rite of passage almost.
Yeah.
Grassroots is, in this area, it's like a rite of passage.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
You can also hear the Trumansburg Fair from.
and the demo derby.
The demo derby.
Yes.
Cult classic.
You go from Grassroots to a country fair.
Yep.
You've got
Yeah, we have it all here.
the horse shows, the horse polls, cow polls. I think both. And then the derby.
Yeah.
And then
And then I know we started in this area, the grain bin.
Grain bin market.
The grain bin
Second
market.
year. Draws a lot of people here.
I know.
Yeah.
The flea market, the
Impressive.
artists. What else do we have in this area that,
Porch Fest. I think a Porch Fest just happened this past week, a couple days ago.
yeah, we have quite the music scene.
Fun fact, Ithaca Porch Fest is the first Porch Fest. Now they're all over the country, but Ithaca started Porch Fest.
And then Trumansburg started Porch
Yeah.
Fest as well.
Trumansburg followed in the steps of Ithaca.
We did, yeah. I'm on the organizing committee for Porch Fest, Trumansburg Porch Fest. Love it. Easiest event to...
So people now not only are wanting to move to the area, they're now emulating
Yeah.
Ithaca. We're the original.
Yeah.
What do they say? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Everybody, wow.
Yeah.
Just welcome everybody to Ithaca.
So we talked a lot about, reasons that we love the area. So I know why I stayed, but
Because you were born here.
I was, but
Oh, right. But you could have left.
I did. We talked about it.
When you
got-
say we, you mean
my husband and I, we went to high school together. So my family was actually from here. My parents, they grew up in Trumansburg. They graduated from Trumansburg, and a lot of my extended family stayed. And then when we graduated and we got engaged and we started planning, the next chapter of our life, we actually thought about picking up and moving to Colorado. Of all places, his best friend was out there. It was absolutely beautiful. We went and we visited a couple of years after we got married, and we came home after our trip. And I was like, we're not leaving. This is home. We're going to start a family, and I want to be close to our family, to our extended family, and I want to have that community base when we start that. And that was our ultimate deciding factor. And now it would take a lot of people to pick up and move, and a lot of this, which you can't find anyplace else. So, but you came here.
I'm glad you didn't move.
Me too.
I'm
But-
glad you didn't move. Yeah, no, I came here because, unlike you, I literally did pick up everything and move to a place where I didn't know anybody because I wanted to. So I came from a little town called Jennerstown, PA, 80 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. I ended up going to Penn State for 2 years and then finally decided what I wanted to be when I grew up. So I researched some colleges for marketing and public relations. And Ithaca College had popped up because of my summer job. Happened to be at a professional summer stock theater where they got actors from Ithaca College. So that's how I'd heard of it. So I visited Ithaca College. I looked them up online and saw that they had a communication school and their internship where you could go out to Los Angeles. And so I was like, that looks pretty cool. Let's go visit the campus. So my mom and I went in February of 1999 and I loved it because it's a smaller school. At that time, it was a smaller school and that, I liked that. And so ended up going to the Roy H. Park School of Communications for marketing and PR and graduated in May of 2002. And I tried to leave. I tried to go get a job somewhere else, and I ended up getting a job here with a small desktop publishing company, which you may have heard of, called the Ithaca Child.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Started there and then moved to the Ithaca Journal, where I had an account with this company called Remax. And I went and called on them, and she goes, "Do you want a job?" I said, "I have a job." And then I ended up taking a job with her. And so here we are. That's how I ended up with staying in this area. And eventually, of course, after college, I ended up meeting my now husband, and we stayed, and here we are.
I always say life takes you where it wants to and kind of guides you. You can have a plan. It's never going to go to plan per se,
Yeah.
But so that my story is similar in that, my degree is in elementary education. So I went to SUNY Cortland. I was a non-traditional, non-trad student. They probably call it something else these days. But so I commuted into Cortland. I didn't live there. I stayed in Ithaca and went to school there. And then my senior year of college, I met my now husband and I got pregnant. So my goal was to go to the city, to New York City after college to do like a Teach America or some sort of like teaching program where they do loan forgiveness. And then when I got pregnant, I moved to Trumansburg instead. And that's when I stayed here. And that's where life wanted me. And I'm so happy.
I'm so happy too. Because you've done amazing things for Trumansburg.
Yeah.
'Cause not only did you open your store, but you volunteer a lot on not-for-profits. Like you do a lot with nonprofits.
Yes. Nonprofits, and this is another example of how life takes you. Everything just leads to where you're going to go. But I started working for, actually the Grassroots Festival is a nonprofit. And I was working for them. And in nonprofits, if you've ever worked in a nonprofit, there's no money or staff.
Yep.
So that's why I created my first website. Yeah. So I created my first website was a Grassroots website, the Grassroots website, which is still up. It needs to be redone.
So no one go look at it. Just
Don't go to it. Don't.
But anyway, that's how I got to start using Squarespace. And then I did the Trumansburg Chamber, also a nonprofit website. I did the Porch Fest website, all just for free, and kind of learning along the way. And then I was like, I really like doing this. And I kept doing more. And then it turned into a business. So that's how I started doing websites.
And that's where you are now.
That's where I am now.
What is the name of your current business?
Nana Potenza, web design and brand work. The original.
And is that how you say it? Like that's what
I said it that way. Feel like a dork.
That's how we have to say it. Nana Potenza, and brand work.
No, yeah, it's just me. It's just me, Nana Potenza, my own.
It's just me.
Yeah, solopreneur.
Solopreneur. Oh,
Solopreneur.
Yeah, I like that. So you've been doing that for like a year now, or a year? Has it been
5 years?
Shut up! It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Time flies.
5 years.
Really?
Yeah. Done a lot of websites. Yeah.
So how many people have you worked with?
I was just asked that the other day, and I couldn't put an exact number on it, but I think I've done at least 60. I've done many.
What is
more than that? But
what is? Yeah, funnest. That's a word. What's the funnest? What's the most fun website that you worked on in the last 5 years?
That's interesting because I don't know about fun. One of my favorite was with Anne-Marie Madison. She is retired and was doing a nature therapy. So she takes people on walks and brings them into nature. And I really loved, I also did her brand work. So I really loved that website. And I loved working with her and that was, I think, last year. Yeah.
Nature therapy.
Nature therapy.
That's,
I also
yet another thing that you can get in this area.
Recently did
small business.
Steuben Brewing Company in Hammondsport. They had great brand work to work with at the start. So that was fun and fun to work with Chad. Chad actually lives in Ithaca, but his brewery is in Hammondsport.
Wow. I know I've been to your website to see what you offer, and I see some of your work, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really nice stuff.
Yeah,
so
thanks.
You've done some really cool things. What other... You've done some, there's some simple stuff and some really... So what is the most complicated design for a website that you've done?
I think I'm doing it right now. A business in Newark, New York. How do you say Palmyra? Palmyra?
Palmyra?
Yeah, do you know where that is?
Yes.
Palmyr.
Yep.
Never been there. But so this woman, Erica, is opening a flower shop out in Newark or Palmyra. And so I'm working on it. I think I just launching it this week. So it's very exciting.
Oh, wow.
Doing it. She wanted a really fun website. So also Squarespace has some really fun, I know this is off topic, but Squarespace has some really amazing features coming out that we learned at Circle Day. So I'm really excited about those coming out.
What is Squarespace?
Squarespace is a website platform.
Okay.
Like Wix or WordPress, or it's like what you create, the business. It's a company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, for us non-techies.
Yeah.
Now I know how people feel when we use real estate terms and acronyms. They're like, did you see the blank look on my face? I was like, what's that? Now I know how our clients feel.
That's why it was fun to go to the conference. They don't call it a conference, they call it Circle Day, but then you get to dork out with all your those Squarespace web designers.
What is the longest time that you spent on one website, to design one website?
Not that long, honestly. Well, now that once you do it, and okay, I love that you like talk about the value of your knowledge, right? Because you didn't just learn it overnight.
Yeah.
So like, I can do it faster. It's not my time. It's like, it took me all the years to get to the point where I can create this website for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
it feels easy to you because you're like, I have spent all these years accumulating.
Correct. Yeah.
This knowledge and this expertise. Yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, boom, boom, boom. Meanwhile, you're saying these words and I'm like, my eyes just glaze over.
Yeah, that's like me in real estate. That is not my department.
So if I'm over here throwing out acronyms and I'm just like saying legal terms and you just glaze over. Yep. Exactly.
There's real value in knowledge.
Yeah, that is why it's very important to find someone who is knowledgeable and a professional in their field.
Correct.
Because you wouldn't hire me to do a website.
Yeah, sure hope not.
Listen,
I've tried it and it didn't. The one I did was, but you wouldn't hire me to, do anything to your teeth.
You're not going to hire me to put on your roof.
Yeah.
No. Listen.
No.
My highest and best use of time. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm going to take my highest and best use of time. And it's not putting together a website. I'm going to hire a professional because they have gathered their knowledge, their time, their expertise, and they're going to take less time. I'm paying you for your time. I'm paying you for your knowledge, your expertise. That is worth it to me.
Time is money.
And so that's exactly why you would hire a realtor, is you're paying them for that 20 plus years of knowledge, expertise, saying you've been around the block, you know the pitfalls, you know what's going to happen. You can,
speak the language.
I can tell you what to expect. Just like you. Mm-hmm. I can tell you what to expect. Here's what's going to happen. Oh, you want your website to look like that? So here's what you can expect if you have all those swirlies on there and things blasting in your face, like you're going to give somebody a seizure.
Yeah. You do end up being a little bit of a business consultant at the same time, which I love. It's so fun to get into different worlds. And like I did the pumpkin stand in Ovid, and like then I learned what's a squash and what's a pumpkin. Or
Oh, I bet you pick up all these little tidbits.
So it's so fascinating. Yeah,
that's so cool. Yeah,
it's never boring.
Never boring. Just like the Finger Lakes, there's always something to do. Mm-hmm. You can always find something here, whether you're a nature lover, whether you are a connoisseur of wine or microbreweries or coffee or tea or food or the outdoors or pottery or the arts or lectures.
And for people who don't know where to even start looking, they just did a Finger Lakes favorites that they can go and check that out.
Yeah.
And it literally covers every single base of our entire area.
Cuba Radio Group just held the Finger Lakes favorites. Mm-hmm. So fingerlakesfavorites.com if you want to see where to start.
It's a good spot.
Finger Lakes, there's literally something for everyone.
Which is why people don't leave.
You know what my slogan for Trumansburg is?
Oh.
Trumansburg, it's closer than you think. And when people don't want to come here from Ithaca, I'm like, guys, come on.
What did we used to say? What did they, when we live in Trumansburg and people joke, they're like, what did they move Ithaca to Syracuse? Because we didn't want to leave Trumansburg. We're like, oh, we have to drive to Ithaca? I don't want to drive to Ithaca. I would rather drive to Watkins Glen.
I let my husband out of the basement every once in a while. He works from home and his desk is down there.
Can we get that one in there? I let my husband out of the basement every once in a while. Next time on wives and what they do with their husbands.
All right. Allowing him to drive and through Ithaca, he can't.
After listen,
No.
Listen, I drove in LA. I did an internship in Los Angeles with the Make-A-Wish Foundation through Ithaca College. And I drove out there. And people know how to drive. Okay. I came back here. I have the worst road rage because people don't know how to drive here. At least in LA, they knew how to bob and weave and swerve and in and out. Like they knew the rules. Like subconsciously, they just knew the rules. Here, I swear to God, people are like, oh, I'm driving.
My favorite is when there's a very slight dusting of snow on the ground.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Next time on UnderContract Taking Backup, we're going to air all our grievances. Nana, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
And all of your stories and expertise.
Yeah.
And thank you for volunteering and doing everything that you do.
Thank you.
Thank you for being such a big part of our community.
Thanks, guys. Sorry.